Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Guest in the West show. Sherman here with Mutual of Omaha. Welcome back, folks. Getting this started here. You've probably noticed that we're broadcasting this now from 11 to 12. This will be our last time actually recording in the studio. Thank you, Juan, for coming in early this morning. Doing this at basically 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. But beginning next week, we're going to be doing this at 11 a.m. So we're excited to be able to move to that time slot. I want to remind folks that if you miss one of the episodes, don't worry. If you go to NowMediaRadio.com, you'll be able to see previous episodes. This Guest in the West show runs Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And so, again, we're excited. I know we have Tashana online, so we're going to not waste any time, get right into the guests. And so, Tashana, welcome to the show. There she is. All right. Tashana, how are you? Okay, here we go. Keep going. We're gonna as we all right, Tashana, I think you can hear me now. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on.
I appreciate it. So why don't you introduce yourself to the audience who might not know who you are and what you do over there at HCA?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tashana McCray. I am the Chief Nursing Officer at HCA Houston Healthcare West.
All right. And so what's going on over there at the healthcare facility these days?
We are busy caring for our patients in our community these days, definitely creating a safe environment for our patients in our community. And we're open to serve our community.
Now, over there for you guys, are there any specialties that you guys focus in on there as an organization at that particular clinic?
At the hospital, we are a full-service acute care facility.
And so for those of people that aren't familiar, what part of Houston are you guys in?
We are in the West Houston community.
All right. So what got you in the nursing years ago?
So what led me to nursing, my mom was in a significant car accident roughly 20 years ago now. And just looking at the care that the intensive care team provided to her through her recovery phase, to me, it was just inspiring. And I was early on in college during that time, and that is truly what led me into the nursing profession, because I felt like I wanted to give back to others the way the healthcare team gave to my mom during that time.
Oh, that's amazing that you were inspired by what others were doing at that time. So now for you over there, I see that you're wearing the mask. What's the feeling of COVID-19 there at the hospital?
So from a masking perspective here at the hospital, we wear universal masking to ensure that we are keeping our patients and our colleagues safe. So as patients enter the hospital, they receive one of these masks as well that they will wear while they are in the facility. And then all of our healthcare team members, they wear masks as well.
Gotcha. And so as patients, if they, are they feeling unwell or they have appointments there at HCA, should they make sure that they're also donning a mask?
If they don't have a mask upon them arriving to our hospital doors, we will provide them with a mask.
All right. So no need, folks, if you're going to go visit the hospital there at HCA, they don't need to be concerned, because you'll be able to have a mask given to you as a way to be able to continue to stay safe. Now, I know, obviously, with HIPAA laws, you can't let us know who's there, but is there an overall feeling that there's a second wave of COVID-19 kind of occurring there at the hospital?
Yes, generally we have a large number of patients at the hospital, and as you alluded to, just with the surge in general and what we're reading in the news and everything, it's been a surge clearly across the city of Houston.
Oh, wow. Well, and you can see the numbers that Juan's bringing up there here, over 500,000 fatalities globally due to COVID-19. So I want to thank all the frontline workers, Tashana, all the great things that you guys are doing out there to keep all of us Houstonians healthy and back to the road to recovery. So for the people that aren't familiar with HCA healthcare, what are some of the things that you guys feel that differentiate you from the other healthcare facilities in town?
So for us here, with our HCA network just across Houston, we have 13 hospitals, 10 outpatient surgery centers, 11 freestanding emergency rooms, 16 Care Now urgent care centers, and numerous diagnostic imaging centers in Greater Houston.
Oh, wow. So there are a lot of facilities for people to be able to get seen and to stay healthy these particular days. I know you have a hard stop at 9 o'clock. So was there anything else that you wanted to share with the audience about what's going on over there with you guys?
I just wanted to let the community know that our hospital is safe, our emergency rooms are safe, our urgent care centers are safe, and please, please, please do not delay care. Definitely come and see us, and we are happy to be here to serve you.
All right. So thank you so much for coming on the show. I know you got to run off to a 9 a.m. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Folks, crucial. Do not delay any of the healthcare that you need. As you heard it right there from Tashana, they are ready and also safe to be able to make sure that you're being taken care of. We're going to go to a quick commercial break and come back with Takadra from the Village School. Chamber of Commerce. Go to the website, HWCOC.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if the business survives or not. The NowMedia Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The NowMedia Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
From monthly now to weekly to be able to help members connect with others and also those that are prospective members with the Houston West Chamber of Commerce. As a reminder, you're going to
Our nation is being seriously affected, not only emotionally, but also clinically. Parents or guardians dealing with a teenager in crisis that required transport to an appropriate treatment facility makes that decision even more difficult. My Armor Services Transport is here to help. Their agents are personal protection officers and private investigators, state certified and trained to accommodate firm boundaries and de-escalations, all while recognizing your loved one's sense of individuality and dignity. Most times your loved one will not respond favorably to being placed in a treatment program. Positive and safe transportation assistance becomes critical when violent or defiant behavior to a placement is anticipated. My Armor Services Transport understands this is a difficult time for you and your family. They are committed to transporting your loved one with dignity, respect, securely, and with compassion. Let them assist with this heavy burden. Call today at 1-800-341-0919 and let My Armor Services Transport be the first strong step you take toward resolving this difficult and complicated issue.
Hello, I'm Pamela O'Brien, owner and principal designer at Pamela Hope Designs. We're an award-winning full-service interior design firm located in Houston, Texas, with clients nationwide. We specialize in medium-high to high-end residential and commercial design projects that inspire confidence in you. When asked about our design style, we believe our style is your style at its best, while respecting your budget, your preferences, and your lifestyle. Our talented team of designers, artisans, and craftsmen collaborates with you to create positive design experiences with exquisite results. Unveiling exceptional designs is a privilege, and we want to make it a pleasure for all involved. From updating your existing home or office for a fresh new look to creating a custom project from the ground up, everything we do is designed for you.
The
The right tax team is key to any successful business. At America's Tax Firm, our goal is to help individuals and businesses of all sizes with accounting solutions and tax strategies that yield profitability, sustainability, and growth. At America's Tax Firm, we have a team of experienced tax consultants and advisors that can help your company optimize business strategies to minimize taxes and reduce liabilities. From preparing and filing your personal or business taxes, or choosing the right legal structure for your business, to resolving complex tax issues with the IRS, America's Tax Firm is your turnkey solution. Take a strong and decisive step and let America's Tax Firm be part of your success.
Hello, I'm Jose Hernandez, retired NASA astronaut, entrepreneur, and proud son of migrant farm workers. Our migrant families do very important work. Many follow the harvest and move frequently throughout the U.S. and thus have many needs. One way to improve your family's future is by participating in the 2020 census. The census only occurs every 10 years, but it affects public funding for clinics, schools, and other essential programs for our communities. Each person must be counted at the address where they live the most during the year. However, if you move frequently, don't worry. Simply fill out your questionnaire where you are living on April 1st, 2020. The information you provide is confidential and is not shared with other government organizations. The future of our families depends on you. So make yourself count before July 31st. For more information, visit the website 2020census.gov.
Graphic design, banners, brochures, business cards, posters, any printing you need for your company's branding, Priority Printing SS is your solution. With more than 30 years of experience, Priority Printing SS has been the preferred solution for hundreds of companies for any printed materials. At Priority Printing SS, they believe in listening to you, bringing you creative ideas to effective results. Your printed materials talk about your company. Make sure they open the door for you. Trust your printed materials to the experts. Call Priority Printing SS at 713-575-9800 and let Priority Printing SS handle with ease all your printing needs.
Welcome back, folks. You can see a live shot of the Houston Galleria. A little bit of a gray day out there, overcast. Got a little bit of precipitation coming down. Sherman here from Mutual Omaha. Welcome back to Guest in the West show. I think, Juan, we're able to get to Kedra, or we're gonna keep going as we're continuing to work with Skype. As I mentioned before, there was a little bit of rain. Well, not a little bit. There was a ton of rain actually last night throughout the Houston and north of Houston area. So as we look at, for those of you that haven't gone to the website, Houston West Chamber of Commerce. In the midst of all this, folks, we've been now 3 months in stay-at-home orders. So basically for a lot of people in the Houston area, Harris County, basically around the middle of March, they announced that we're going to have some stay-at-home orders. So if you go to the website, hwcoc.org, Juan's pulled it up for those of you that are watching on video, and you can go to Guest in the West, right there, the podcast, to be able to see previous episodes. At the same time, you can see that HWCOC is there for business in business. And so the focus is for them to be able to make sure that they're helping you stay relevant, especially during these times, stay on the top of mind. One of the things we like people people to go to is look at the event calendar. All of the events have now gone virtual. And so you're able to connect in a way that's extremely meaningful, a way that you can continue to stay safe. Go there to the calendar section, and then it'll show you literally in a calendar format by month the different events that are occurring. You're going to want to be able to click on the different events of the day. You want to register, so that way you can be able to know exactly what's the specific URL and or the meeting code with a specific password, as all the events right now have gone digital, just based on the current environment that we're in. As a reminder, if you want to get on this show, the Guest in the West show, you want to connect with Devin Wagner. Thank you goes out to her for all the work that she does and connecting with folks. And so you can either show up, we can leverage technology when it's working, and we can do that via Skype, or you can come down here to the studio. Of course, we're going to practice social distancing. We're going to be donning masks. But when you come in here, we keep you far enough away that you're going to be able to stay safe during these particular times. And so what the fun thing that it allows us to be able to do during this time is be able to share your story. What do you do? What are you excited about? How are you handling, and your team, what's going on? So you want to be able to reach out to Devin Wagner. She's at events@hwcoc.org. I got the thumbs ups from Juan. We're going to be able to bring Takadra on, and then we'll go to a commercial break after that. So let's first hear Takadra. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Sherman. How are you? It's good to see you.
It's great to see you. How's everything over there at the village?
Everything is good. It's been a challenge and a different time period, of course. But our students are resilient and doing well and having a much needed summer break after the spring semester. So we're doing good.
Now, for you guys, being a little bit different of a school, because you have quite a number of international students, how were a lot of those students able to deal with kind of what started occurring with the travel bans and things like that?
Yeah, so it was quite different for us. Quite a few of those students stayed with us for an extended period of time because they weren't able to get back to their home country. And then, of course, concerned that if they did go back, that they wouldn't be able to come back here, depending on what was going on at the time. So we've dwindled those numbers down. Students have gotten back to their home countries. For the most part, we still have a few students here. But it was definitely a challenge with so much uncertainty in the world and not being able to travel, not being able to get to parents. So just like you and I are utilizing technology today, that's what our parents had to do, really rely on the FaceTime, the Zoom, and, all these other technology applications to be able to check on their students, to see them face to face. Because as we know, it's hard when you have your kids somewhere else and, you can only talk to them. So it's good to lay eyes on them every once in a while.
Absolutely. Now, you're one of the most unique schools in Houston in that you actually have people that board there.
Right. And so those are the students who actually stayed with us a bit longer. So our campus shut down in mid-March. And so basically we went on spring break and never returned. But over 100 students were still with us on the campus even after that shutdown. So they were quarantined in our residential hall. And so they did the online learning. We started the virtual school experience, which is where students would log in, have face-to-face classes with their teachers, but then also be able to turn in their assignments and do projects. So those students still participated in that as well.
So why don't you describe the Village School to some of the people who might not be familiar with that school system?
Say that again. I'm sorry. My dog is
that's one of your coworkers. So describe the Village School for those of people who might not be familiar with the school system there.
Yeah, so we are a private school. We're over in West Houston, off of 10 and Eldridge near Briar Forest. And we are an international community of students. So we have students from over 80 countries, some that reside here locally, and then, like you said before, some that are part of our boarding program. And so we have several different diploma options for students. One of them is the IB, which is the International Baccalaureate. And that's a very rigorous program that's recognized throughout the country, throughout the world, actually. So a lot of our students that end up here will continue that IB programming that they started maybe somewhere else and have that continuity of education. And we also have the Entrepreneurship Diploma Program, which is unique to Village, and students that are interested in starting a business, running a business, or just pursuing that entrepreneurial mindset that they can apply to any industry. That's what we're big about. We're about, giving students a choice in their learning. And so everything that you're seeing here is a huge, variety of the programming that we have on our campus. And a lot of the innovation that's taking place starts as young as our kindergarten students and goes all the way up through high school. So it's a really exciting and unique and fun place to be, where learning is at the center of everything that we do.
That's wonderful. So it's a full service kindergarten to 12th grade, have some unique things there that aren't familiar with all schools because of the international exposure and obviously the number of students that are there. How many countries and languages are represented there at the high school level?
Oh, wow. Probably about 40 different countries at the high school level. And I don't even know the number of languages. On average, our students speak between 2 and 3 languages, some of them as many as 5 different languages. So it's a really unique skill set for a student to have and be that well-traveled and that diverse before they even get into college. So our students have quite the upper hand when it gets down to applying to these highly selective universities because they've been all over the world. They've navigated different cultures. They've navigated sometimes moving from one area of the world to another. So they're very well prepared to deal with just, a global landscape.
Now, what's the anticipation as we look at fall of 2020 to spring of 2021? Any direction on where the school is going to be headed from a face-to-face online curriculum? What's that looking like?
We're still figuring that out as far as the details, but it may be a face-to-face as well as a virtual situation. So what we're calling a hybrid model, where students may have the opportunity to pursue both of those. At the end of the day, of course, safety is first for our students, for our staff, and especially those who are looking at that virtual school experience that we did back in March, from March to May. The success of that, we see that we can still have the highest quality of learning, even if the student is not on the campus every day. So as we're monitoring CDC guidelines, monitoring what the federal guidelines are, we're taking all of that into consideration to make sure that our students have, the safest yet most enjoyable experience possible.
Absolutely. Now, with a lot of that international students, are some of them even allowed to even yet travel back to the U.S.?
Yeah, we don't know yet. It's kind of a day-by-day situation. Typically, our students start coming back to Houston in late July, early August. And so it's still kind of early to see what that looks like. And of course, we hope that, the doors open, our students are able to come back with a seamless transition as they have in the past, but also preparing for that. On a good note, we're part of a global network of schools, Nord Anglia, and so we have schools all over the world. And in some cases, there may be some situations where students may be able to transfer to a school that's closer to them in the event they're not able to get back here. Of course, that's not ideal because they came to us for a reason, but that may be an option for some of our international students.
Gotcha. So being able to be flexible is crucial at this time. How about for you and the staff? Are any dates on when you guys will be heading back to the facility?
Well, I'm always working, as you know.
Yeah.
You and I have talked and met, on several different occasions. And so we do have some staff that are back on campus and working on the reopening of the school. But the anticipation is still that the teachers would not return until early August. But everyone is kind of in the midst of planning and preparing for the various options that we may need to explore for the fall.
Gotcha. So flexibility being crucial during this time.
Oh yeah, definitely. And even with our students, typically our students during the summer, they're traveling, they're doing internships, they're going to college camp programs. And so all of that has looked different. Typically I'm, hitting the pavement every day, checking on student interns, monitoring their progress, building new relationships with companies, many of whom are a part of the chamber. But this year, being in this virtual environment, we haven't been able to place as many students because businesses are trying to pivot and figure out, what they're going to do. So the flexibility is definitely something that has to be understood from parents to students to faculty and staff, and just patience. And that things don't look how they normally look right now. But just having that flexibility and knowing that we're still doing the best to make sure that they're still getting quality experiences, and still, getting prepared to navigate, because these are the students that will ultimately go out and start businesses and run companies and, do everything that we need. So we want to make sure they're as best prepared as possible.
That's great. So why don't you describe a little bit of that internship program, just because that's pretty unique to at the high school level, I would say.
Yeah, it really is unique for us to have an internship program for high school students. Typically, you think of, college students or students that have just graduated. But for us, we like to say, go pro early, learn the skill set that you need earlier on. So the earlier that you can learn that skill set, and apply it to a real world experience in a professional environment, the better student that you will become. And so as we're looking at internships, we like high quality internships where students are really active on a project or an assignment, something that's directly related and can have an impact on the company that they're working for.
That's amazing. And then, so how can, if a company's listening here and they're like, you know what, they would love that opportunity to really work with a young mind, how can they get in touch with you guys?
Yeah, so they can definitely go to the website. They can look me up there. My email address is listed there. My phone number is listed there, and they can reach out. A lot of companies just don't know where to start. They've never worked with a high school student before. And so I'm kind of the expert in that area, helping them to identify where a student could fit in with their company. And especially right now, with companies having to make so many different decisions and facing challenges and maybe a workload that they haven't faced before, bringing in a student or two could really help relieve some of that pressure from some of the day-to-day things, that maybe you don't have the staff or the bandwidth to handle. Putting an intern on different projects, whether it be business, accounting, social media management, anything technology related, students can really help out in that area. So it may seem like a small assignment to you, but for a student who's never been in the professional environment but has the skill set, it's a huge opportunity.
That's amazing. So there again, folks, Juan's been pulling up their website while Takedra's been talking. But those of you that are listening on the audio format, Takedra, what's the website that they can go to?
The website is thevillageschool.com. They can also find my email address on there, takedra.pierre@thevillageschool.com.
Wonderful. Anything else that you guys are?
Simple Google search and put the Village School in. I believe Nord Anglia is on the web address, but they'll be able to find us and they can explore all of our different programs. They can look at the boarding options, the educational options, everything that we have to offer. We have a pretty inclusive website.
Absolutely. Now, I know that you're able to be a member of a multitude of different chambers. Why are you and the Village School members of the Houston West Chamber of Commerce?
Oh, I just love them. Devin and Karina are absolute rock stars. Ever since day one when we met, we hit it off. Have a lot of the same goals, aligned. And the businesses that are part of the chamber, it's really like family. Going to the networking events, going to the different events that happen throughout the year, and even now virtually, just to sign in and see familiar faces, familiar names. I really like the the familial environment of the chamber. Everyone has been super supportive of our campus, our students, and it's just a great extension for what we're already doing, to have that additional arm into the business community and have their support, because just as much as I talk about them, they talk about us. And, a lot of people don't know about the Village School, so they brought a lot of exposure to what we do with our programming, and vice versa. Businesses that we work with that are chamber members and people that I meet, I definitely, encourage people to patronize those businesses and reach out to those people, because it's a huge group, but it's a great group of people.
Wonderful. Really appreciate your membership. Appreciate you being patient as we work through some technology issues this morning. To Kadra, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Sherman. Good to see you guys, and stay safe in this weather.
You too. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back with what's going on here at NowMedia and also the Houston West Chamber of Commerce.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The NowMedia Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The NowMedia Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today. Our nation is being seriously affected, not only emotionally, but also clinically. Parents or guardians dealing with a teenager in crisis that required transport to an appropriate treatment facility makes that decision even more difficult. My Armor Services Transport is here to help. Their agents are personal protection officers and private investigators, state certified and trained to accommodate firm boundaries and de-escalations, all while recognizing your loved one's sense of individuality and dignity. Most times your loved one will not respond favorably to being placed in a treatment program. Positive and safe transportation assistance becomes critical when violent or defiant behavior to a placement is anticipated. My Armor Services Transport understands this is a difficult time for you and your family. They are committed to transporting your loved one with dignity, respect, securely, and with compassion. Let them assist with this heavy burden. Call today at 1-800-341-0919 and let My Armor Services Transport be the first strong step you take toward resolving this difficult and complicated issue.
Hello, I'm Pamela O'Brien, owner and principal designer at Pamela Hope Designs. We're an award-winning full-service interior design firm located in Houston, Texas, with clients nationwide. We specialize in medium-high to high-end residential and commercial design projects that inspire confidence in you. When asked about our design style, we believe our style is your style at its best, while respecting your budget, your preferences, and your lifestyle. Our talented team of designers, artisans, and craftsmen collaborates with you to create positive design experiences with exquisite results. Unveiling exceptional designs is a privilege, and we want to make it a pleasure for all involved. From updating your existing home or office for a fresh new look to creating a custom project from the ground up, everything we do is designed for you.
The right tax team is key to any successful business. At America's Tax Firm, our goal is to help individuals and businesses of all sizes with accounting solutions and tax strategies that yield profitability, sustainability, and growth. At America's Tax Firm, we have a team of experienced tax consultants and advisors that can help your company optimize business strategies to minimize taxes and reduce liabilities. From preparing and filing your personal or business taxes, or choosing the right legal structure for your business, to resolving complex tax issues with the IRS. America's Tax Firm is your turnkey solution. Take a strong and decisive step and let America's Tax Firm be part of your success.
Hello, I'm Jose Hernandez, retired NASA astronaut, entrepreneur, and proud son of migrant farm workers. Our migrant families do very important work. Many follow the harvest and move frequently throughout the U.S. and thus have many needs. One way to improve your family's future is by participating in the 2020 census. The census only occurs every 10 years, but it affects public funding for clinics, schools, and other essential programs for our communities. Each person must be counted at the address where they live the most during the year. However, if you move frequently, don't worry. Simply fill out your questionnaire where you are living on April 1st, 2020. The information you provide is confidential and is not shared with other government organizations. The future of our families depends on you. So make yourself count before July 31st. For more information, visit the website 2020census.gov.
Graphic design, banners, brochures, business cards, posters, any printing you need for your company's branding, Priority Printing SS is your solution. With more than 30 years of experience, Priority Printing SS has been the preferred solution for hundreds of companies for any printed materials. At Priority Printing SS, they believe in listening to you, bringing you creative ideas to effective results. Your printed materials talk about your company. Make sure they open the door for you. Trust your printed materials to the experts. Call Priority Printing SS at 713-575-9800 and let Priority Printing SS handle with ease all your printing needs.
Out of Galveston, Houston, USA, Galveston, Texas, excuse me. So that's looking at the Gulf Coast. You can see definitely overcast even down there. Waves are coming in as the wind is picked up due to last night's storm. So welcome back, everybody, to Guest in the West show. We're here in the beautiful NowMedia Radio studio. I want to thank Juan and for coming here, being our producer this morning, probably letting Jonathan sleep in. And want to thank Devin for doing all that she can to be able to coordinate this. If you want to get on the show again, folks, you want to email her at events@hwcoc.org. We'll love to have you on as a guest. Also, as a reminder, NowMediaRadio.com has previous episodes. So first off, you can listen to that. It's a live streaming 24/7, 365 these days. In both Spanish and also English content. You'll be able to identify as you scroll down there the audio format of the live show, which you would be able to listen to this Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Or if you are in a safe place and you can watch it via video, you can press the play button there in the video and it'll be playing for you, showing you live the different news programs that are there, the other content creators. So there's things from being able to build your business, being able to hear about the news in Spanish and also in English. Now Media has a great partnership with El Heraldo Media Group down in Mexico City. So excited about that partnership where they're actually showing the news 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Here on the Now Media feed. And right now they're working on a partnership to be able to simulcast into 27 different news outlets. So a lot of great things happening coming out of this little studio here in West Houston. So we're excited about that. As a reminder, folks, I just wanted to give you a heads up of what's coming up here on the Houston West Chamber of Commerce. If we go back to that website, hwcoc.org, go to the calendar section. What you're going to find are the different events that's occurring right now. You can see as you scroll down into the events area, the, let's see, tomorrow, with it being June 24th, we have a business growth workshop, SEO 411, and also on Thursday, government affairs event. And so you can just click onto the the hyperlinks there. You can register, and you're going to want to register because all those events are via Zoom right now. Just based on the current environment that we're at, we're not yet in face-to-face meetings. Some of that they're monitoring and looking at ways that, number one, how do we put these events that are face-to-face going on in the future? But everything right now is virtual to be able to keep everyone safe. And I'll also be able to make sure that they're meaningful meetings with not everybody feeling uber comfortable getting into large groups. And so typically the Houston West Chamber of Commerce is known for, shaking hands and ribbon cuttings and various events to be able to promote your business. Now you're able to do it virtually, which if anyone's familiar with the traffic of Houston, is kind of a good thing that you have the ability to be able to navigate just on your own laptop or your desktop or even your phone to be able to get onto these Zoom meetings. I want to take a quick step back, folks. Going back to an old school Aesop's fable here. I want to be able to share with you a little story time. So this is Sherm's story time, all right? This is the grasshopper and the owl. Okay? So this Aesop's fable one, I thought would just makes sense. So there once was an owl who lived in a hollow tree. She fed by night and slept by day, as all owls do. But whenever she was trying to sleep, her slumbers were greatly disturbed by the chirping of a grasshopper who had made his home on a log beneath the tree. The owl tossed and turned and tried everything she could to block out the grasshopper singing and to get to sleep. But nothing was any good. The owl begged the grasshopper repeatedly to have some consideration and stop chirping. But the grasshopper, if anything, only sang louder. At last, the owl could stand it no longer and was determined to rid herself of the pest by means of a trick. She said to the grasshopper, in the most pleasant way that she could, "As I cannot sleep for your song, which is as sweet as a harp music, I have a mind to taste some nectar. Won't you come in and join me?" The grasshopper was flattered by the praise of his song, and his mouth watered at the mention of a delicious drink. So he said he would be delighted. No sooner had he gotten inside the hollow where the owl was waiting than she pounced on him and ate him up. The moral of that story is, do not let flattery throw you off your guard against an enemy. So I think for a lot of people, they care too much about other people's opinions on their own lives, and then they end up dictating themselves based on what's going on. There's right now a lot of media, there's a lot of news, there's a lot of conversations, there's a lot of talking heads, there's a lot of posts, there's a lot of tweets going out there. And so I think for a lot of people, the concern that they have for themselves is, how do I make clear what I should do? And the most important thing I think for a lot of people to have a look at is inwardly. What brings you happiness? What motivates you? What drives you? And do that. And don't allow the naysayers, don't allow those that are somewhat of enemies, maybe people that see you as competition. Don't let them deter you from what you're pursuing. Don't allow the obstacles or the words of others to get in your way. So unlike the grasshopper who basically listened to the words of that owl, thought that the flattery words was a way that she could actually coax him and was willing to then sit down with an enemy and end up finding themselves part of a meal. So as you find yourself in the midst of what we're going through right now, don't allow people to deter you from what you're doing. Allow yourself to have the confidence, the perseverance to be unswayed, unfettered, unflattered by the words of others. I'm often contemplative over this particular time whenever I have kind of a moment to myself. Sometimes when I'm on my drive-in, Juan, I'll sometimes just turn the radio off and I listen to nothing, just stillness. And in the midst of that stillness, that silence in my vehicle, I think about what people might be doing, what they might be struggling with, what they're overcoming. And I'm a little concerned. I'm concerned that those that find their obstacles so insurmountable, they don't know where to turn to for help. I think about those business owners who are just absolutely terrified about when the next sales is going to come, when they're going to get back to normalcy, when that next client is going to come through the proverbial door. And I think about these people that might be dealing with some difficulty. I think about the 44 million people who have filed for unemployment here in the United States. I think about them because they're providers. Some of them are mothers or fathers, adults working, and they provide an amazing amount of service to the overall economy. And so I think about you. I think about what you might be dealing with. And as I think about that, I'm also on the exact opposite side. I'm filled up with happiness, strength, because I see people doing amazing things. I was recently reading about H-E-B. It's a local Texas grocery store. And one of the employees just put a nice note in the other day to someone that, they bought their groceries online and they were doing it delivery or curbside. And inside, this employee decided to put just a nice note of encouragement. And it meant so much to that woman that had bought the groceries that she framed that nice note. And it just brightened her day. And so in the midst of all that's going on, right, it can be absolutely daunting. It can feel like the world is upside down. And maybe in your own world, it might feel like that. Is there something that we can do to help brighten someone else's day? As simple as writing a note to someone, as simple as maybe leaving a note on a car, or sending an email to someone, giving a shout out to someone on LinkedIn, appreciating being grateful for others. I think there's a lot of value in just that attitude of gratitude. It can go a long way in helping people get through their day. At the same time, folks, there are a lot of healthcare professionals that are there to be able to help us during this particular time. I think about all those healthcare providers like Tashana, who was on the show earlier on, who talked about HCA healthcare and what all those nurses and physicians and doctors and other administrators are doing to be able to keep people safe, to be able to make sure that they're able to get back to the road to recovery quicker and in a way that's meaningful and impactful. And so, boy, are we ever grateful for that healthcare, those healthcare providers who are doing what needs to get done these days. And of course, we think about all those people who are trying to find some kind of vaccine, some kind of way to protect others during this particular time. Folks, if you are in Harris County, as a reminder, Judge Hidalgo had put out an order beginning on Monday, the 22nd, that you needed to be donning masks when you're out in public places. So I would say to anybody, get your masks, mask up, stay safe. I don't believe in those conspiracy theories. If you go to the readyharris.gov website, you can see there, not only to talk about how to stay safe during COVID-19, at the same time, for those of you that are in the Houston area, then you're aware that it's also hurricane season. So we need to do all that we can to be ready, to be prepared, to make sure that we are keeping ourselves safe, keeping our families safe, and our community safe. So that's a good website to be able to make sure that you're aware of what's going on. NowMedia Radio also has started a recent news. And so you're able to stay up to date on what's going on in the world there. You can see Juan has brought up in the video format. I'm going to show you guys here on the Facebook live feed a graphic there of what's going on and the breakdown of Houston and how it's navigating the COVID-19. A lot of you probably have heard that there's a second wave has emerged. And unfortunately, here in Texas, it's not going so well. Had over 5,000 new cases a couple days ago. That was the highest ever. And obviously then in Houston, in Harris County, a concern. So one of the great things in the midst of a lot of these turmoil, folks, so I don't want to get too far down that news line, but we're reaching out and we're hearing about businesses. So number one, you can come here to the studio. You can do it via Skype. You can do it over the phone, or you can actually come in person. Of course, as you walk through the lobby and the elevator, you're going to be wearing a mask. Okay, but the thing that you can do here is you can share your story. Juan and his team can help you have a digital space out there. He's going to help you be able to be your own storyteller and being able to share your message with the world. Also, want to be able to remind you of a great program that was recently started, brought up to our attention by Paul over at Minutemen Press, bouncebackwestchase.com. So there it is, BOUNCEBACKWESTCHASE.com. What you can do, folks, is you can register there. You can put your business up. And what they're doing is they're promoting all business in Houston. So don't be concerned that it says West Chase and you're in Sugar Land. Don't be concerned that it says West Chase and you're in Katy or the Energy Corridor or the medical corridor. You can register your business, and you can put yourself in a specific category. They also have a free ebook to give you tips on how to be able to leverage this form of social media. So you can see there they have local politicians that they've reached out to be able to make sure that they're making their constituents aware, the businesses aware in the areas that they serve. But then there's also a partnership with the Houston West Chamber of Commerce, the West Chase District. At the same time, again, this is to be able to help people focus on those local businesses. So if you're going out to go to a restaurant, you can come here, you can see which restaurants have registered, and you can be able to go and patron those facilities. So again, you can go to there. It's really simple. 1 and 2, there's the website, bouncebackwestchase.com. Juan's bringing it up. Also, there's a Facebook page, Bounce Back West Chase, on the Facebook page. And so again, you can post up a discount. You can talk about if there's any special offering that you're doing, maybe a BOGO. And so it's a way to be able to help, especially a lot of those non-essential businesses like retail stores that were closed during the stay-at-home orders here in Texas and specifically in Harris County. And it'll allow you to be able to get on the forefront of people's minds. And also it'll be able to help you be more searchable. If you're familiar with search engine optimization, the more that other web pages talk about you or have links to your website, the better for you, the more likely it is to make it more searchable. So in there, you can put in your contact info, you can put a little bio, you can talk about maybe a discount that you have. So bouncebackwestchase.com. Want to be able to encourage people to take advantage of that. A great way for you to be able to stay relevant during these times. And that's really where I want to shift the conversation is to think about your local business. I think for a lot of people during this particular time period, they want to be able to stay relevant. And so they think they need to be everything to everybody. But if you think about the community that you might be in, if you were to just dominate that little space, the 2-block radius, the 1-mile radius of where you are, that everybody knew who you are and what you do, right? There's that old adage, it's not so much what you know, it's who you know. However, the evolution of that, it's not so much who you know as who knows you and what you do. So for example, if you're a mechanic and nobody knows that you're a mechanic and you can actually fix a car, no one's going to come to you. And so even though you know the President of the United States, doesn't matter, because it's about other people knowing who you are and what you're doing and your value to them and the marketplace. And that's really where your relevance really comes in. And so I think about the restaurant, right, that might be they weren't ready for Grubhub. They weren't ready for Uber delivery. And so they're learning that on the fly. They may not even have a Facebook page or a website yet. And all of a sudden they're not being searched, right? So as people want to patron you during these particular times, they want to shop local, they want to buy in their own backyard, but yet they can't find you. And so that's really the struggle, I think, for a lot of businesses is they're not staying relevant because they haven't done anything in order to stay relevant. So again, folks, for a lot of you, you might not even have a Facebook page. You might not even have a website. You might not even have a Twitter or an Instagram or what's the other ones out there? There's Snapchat, WhatsApp. There's a multitude of ways that people should be able to get in touch with you. And if not, how are people going to be able to find you? And so as you think about that for your business, if you don't have some kind of digital strategy, I would tell you it's 2020. If you're still relying on old school yellow page kind of billboard marketing mentality, you're living literally in the Stone Age. It's not, unless you're like a convenience store, it doesn't make any sense to be running a billboard. And so in order to stay relevant, you got to be doing something different. And so for a lot of businesses, they need to be able to get proper acceptance and accuracy in a video format or some kind of social media platform in order to stay relevant. And so people are only aware of you when they can see you. And when the majority of the working population is working from home, the only way that they're going to see you is from their phone or their laptop. And so what we're finding for a lot of people is that they're spending more time on social media platforms on Saturday and Sunday because Monday to Friday, they're being bombarded already with Zoom meetings and Skype calls and Microsoft Team meetings. So this is where you have an opportunity to be relevant. So if you don't have a strategy, feel free to come to the NowMedia Radio, reach out to Juan and his team. They'll be able to help you out. Folks, now is the time to be able to make sure that you have those strategies in place marketing-wise to propel you into the future. 2020 is going to leave an indelible fingerprint on the way that we consume and the way that we do business. We're going to take a commercial break, or is that it, Juana? We're done. All right, we're done, folks. Thank you for tuning in to Guest in the West show. We hope to see you next week.